What's going on, guys? It's your boy V from Superline. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to get true wholesale pricing for blank apparel. First of all, I'm going to quickly describe what wholesale pricing is. So let's say you guys go to the mall and you walk into a store to buy a shirt. The store got that shirt at a cheaper wholesale price for buying that product in bulk. Now, this same concept applies to blank apparel. In general, wholesale pricing means you're buying products at a larger quantity at a lower cost directly from a supplier. Wholesale pricing saves you money on each item you buy, which in turn increases your profits. If y'all have ever gone on other websites to purchase blank apparel at wholesale pricing, you'll notice that all of these websites require a resale number or a resale certificate. So a resale number is essentially a certificate that's saying you're going to be buying these goods to resell and not buying these goods for yourself. Now, the tricky thing is that each state has its own rules regarding a resale certificate. So I'm actually going to drop a link in the description that explains the different rules depending on the state that you live in. Again, so depending on the state you live in, the process is going to be slightly different, but at the end of the day, you're going to want to get this resale number or resale certificate. So Superline Wholesale is actually located in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm going to be using Georgia as an example. If I lived in Georgia, I would apply through the Department of Revenue's website. When applying on the Department of Revenue's website, you're going to have to apply with your business. So you're going to have a business set up. And if you have a business set up, you'll have a tax ID for your business. A tax ID is essentially a social security number for your business. And then after I go through the application process, boom, I have my resale number / resale certificate. And after I have that, I'm good to go. I could submit these documents to a Superline Wholesale, an Alpha Broder, a Made Blanks, and any of these other blank apparel distributors to get true wholesale pricing. So the wholesale pricing on all of these websites is going to be cheaper than the retail pricing. For example, if I hop into the computer and I go to Alpha Broder is one of the biggest wholesale apparel distributors in the US. However, the catch with Alpha Broder is you have to have an account set up, which means you have to have the proper documentation. And on Alpha Broder, you can actually see how to get the proper documentation. But again, for example purposes, a white hoodie on Alpha Broder is as low as $10.89. And actually that pricing goes down the more you spend with Alpha Broder. You could get in contact with the rep there, tell them about the volume you're trying to do, and you could actually knock that price down even more. Alpha Broder has a retail side called Threadsy, and this is open to the public. Anybody can go on threadsy.com and put in an order. And that same hoodie is going to be $13.12. So similar to Alpha Broder and all these other distributors, if you have an account with Superline Wholesale, you are going to get the bottom of the barrel wholesale pricing. Unfortunately, for most of these vendors, you're not going to be able to get that true wholesale pricing without submitting your paperwork. So at Superline Wholesale, we do have an alternative. You could pay for a wholesale membership. And once you pay for wholesale membership, you have access to wholesale pricing for life. Again, if you don't want to pay for the membership, you could just do the paperwork and get that same wholesale pricing. After you have wholesale pricing on all these accounts, I wanted to give you guys some tips. The first one is research. Compare prices at all these different distributors. The more distributors and vendors you know, the more pricing you know, the better pricing you're going to end up getting on your orders. 2, build good relationships with distributors and people. At the end of the day, all these businesses are run by people, so the better relationships you have with these people means the better pricing you're going to get on their products. 3, which is my last tip, is just be cognizant of the types of products with these different distributors. For example, you're not going to find sun-dried sets, 2-panel tees, and just streetwear-like items at these big corporate vendors like Alpha Broder, Sanmar, etc. But those distributors are going to have the best pricing for like your Gildan t-shirts, Gildan hoodies, and stuff like that. So you might go to one distributor for a specific product, but then you might go to another one for your main product line. It all depends on what type of products you're selling. Every vendor is going to have different products. That about wraps up the video on how to get wholesale pricing for blank apparel. Please like the video and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. You know we stay giving y'all free game.